Hello and welcome to EJ's Budget and Stickers. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back and looking to see where we're at for week 4 in May here. So basically, we're just going to wrap up the budget because today is not a payday. We're going to start looking into June and just kind of doing a quick check-in with the budget. We are looking at the spending between the 20th and today, which is the 27th. So that would have been the paycheck. And then, of course, the transfer of the $25 into savings. And in my last video, I had talked about how my son and I, we might go catch a movie and dinner, and he decided he wanted some clothes instead of catching a movie, which I was totally fine with because that I'd rather see him have something he needs if he prefers that versus just going out and having a good time. So we ended up going out to the Mall America where he wanted to go shop. There was 2 things he was looking for specifically, and we ended up finding both of them, so that was good. And as far as the wallet and the budget goes, he did really, really well because the 2 things that he wanted had a very steep discount on them. So I was very fortunate. One of the things that he wanted was to get a baseball hat. So we found a place, went in, he found a hat that he liked, and originally the hat was $40 and he ended up getting it for $28. So I was really relieved when we weren't spending $40 for a hat. So good job there. And then the other thing that he wanted was a tie-dye hoodie, and that took a little bit longer to find. But we ended up finding a hoodie that he did like, along with a shirt. So basically, the place that we went shopping for that, we also ended up getting some really good discounts there. And one of the discounts that we got, it was like $30 or 30% off. And then in addition to that 30, we got another 10%. So I think with everything that what we purchased and the discounts and stuff, I think like the discounts came out to almost, it was either between like 40 and 50% that we ended up getting discount, because when I looked at the receipt, I was so excited that basically the cost of the shirt and that was basically free, and that they because of the discounts. So out of that, and that we spent $35.06, and I went to Target. I did some shopping there. Went to the grocery store, picked up some groceries this week for $51.70. Ended up having to put gas in the car. And yesterday, my son also noted that his shoes were getting small and he would like to upgrade his shoes. So last night we ended up going just to the local mall by us, and we found a pair of shoes that he liked. Again, they were on discount. So he really rocked it, finding the deals, finding what he likes. You know, for the most part, I don't restrict in that what he can spend. In that when it comes to things that he needs, like clothes, shoes, stuff like that. I never, tell him that, you have this much to spend, or And I want him to be him. I want him to find clothes that are his style. And, I leave him the freedom to express who he is and what makes him comfortable. Because I figure if he's comfortable, technically in his clothes, in what he's doing, that's one less battle that him and I are going to have to, to struggle with and stuff. So, he's very good at sitting down, knowing where we're at with our budget, and that because this is something that as a family we do together. We sit down and have conversations about, okay, this is what we have this money, this is what we have told it needs to do. And so he knows when, we're doing stuff for fun or our clothes allowance and stuff, exactly kind of like where we're at. And so he did really, really good. I was so proud of him and that because when we go and look at the budget, yes, there is some overspending, but it could, for what we did, it could be a lot worse. Our dining out, and that ended up being over by $1.65, so that's okay. The fuel, with that, that's kind of not within the control because that's always flexing, but to only be $2.20 over, still a win, considering that could be a really big overspend there. And $6.19, you guys, and that with the fund money, completely understandable. It's reasonable. Like I said, him and I going to the mall and all those different stores, this really, really could have been something that, being $6.19, I ain't mad at it. And that honestly. So we'll just roll with it. I just have to make some adjustments within the money, and we will cover and at that overspending. And he is ecstatic over, the things that he got to pick up. Right now, he's living in his hoodie, and that I keep telling him, I need to get that. I need to get it washed, and basically right now that's going in one ear and out the other because, like I said, he's loving his hoodie. He's loving, all the things that he picked up and stuff. He's loving his baseball cap, and, and to me that's what it's all about. And I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing him, loving his new stuff. That's awesome. So what I'm going to do to cover the overspending that him and I did is, out of our, this is basically like our holiday fund money, and that birthdays and stuff like that. We have $155, and that's set aside for this. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use this to cover our overspending just because, the birthdays that I have, my birthday's next month. I don't plan on doing a whole lot for my birthday, so I'm not worried about it. And then the other birthdays, one's not until August, and we'll be able to recover because July is the magic month for me. I get 3 paychecks. So I can always, if I need to beef this back up, I can always do that with July's paycheck. And then the rest of the birthdays are not until like October, November, the end of the year. So right now, not mad at any of the overspending. It is what it is. And the reward, like I said, that I'm seeing, I absolutely love it. So I'm just rolling with it. That's part of the budget. That's part of, spending and living your life. So just as long as you're adjusting for you know, changing your priorities, seeing what fits, what doesn't fit. That's why, you know, we have rule 3, you know, rolling with the punches, and that's what we're doing here. We're rolling with those punches. So let's get all right, all that's covered, so we're good there. We're still over the 30 days, so that is awesome. The only bill that I do have coming out on Monday is the Netflix, and I believe we should be good with that as well. Yes, yeah, we got money in there, so we're covering that. So that will take us into June. Oh my gosh, you guys, the year is halfway over, and this is crazy. So the first bill that I have on the 1st, of course, is rent. So let's flip over to June. And all right, so our rent is covered. The garage and parking, water, the fee that I pay to have reported to the Credit Business Bureau. The rent, garage parking, water, and the fee, all of that is covered, so we are good there. The Excel bill, that comes out also on the 1st, and that was for 110.15, and I have 110.68. So that bill will be covered. It will leave us a little bit of change. So that is awesome. And then you guys, the 3rd is payday. So that is basically everything that I need to cover right now between my 2 paychecks. So that is another win. Definitely keeping an eye on the spending, just because I am an emotional spender. I'm sitting really good, and I know that I have money sitting in the bank for things, and sometimes it's a little hard knowing that there's money sitting, and that I have like my school debt and stuff, or my car payment, where I could take that money and make an extra payment. So sometimes that gets to be a little bit of a challenge, but I need to also understand and be okay with the idea that money can sit in the account. I don't have to spend every last dime that I make in order to get out of debt. So that is one reason why like I said, guys, I don't really go into my checking account, and that I really rely on YNAB. I'm thankful that they have the mobile app, because when I'm out and about and when I do have my phone, I'm able to update my budget in real time, and I don't have to worry about coming and sitting at my computer and updating it. Then, like I said, I can do it real time. I can know exactly where my budget is at. And that if I'm at the grocery store and I spend the grocery budget, you know, perfect example this weekend. And when my son and I, you know, we were out at the mall, and you know, we were putting in those receipts and stuff. And I think that's probably why the spending did not get out of control, because it was like, as soon as, you know, we spent at one store, I updated and I saw where we were at, you know, and that was a conversation piece. Okay, this is what we have for this budget. You know, this is where we're sitting. And, you know, and then we went to the next store, didn't find anything, went to the next store. And then finally, you know, I was relieved when he finally found exactly what it was, you know, that he was looking for. And, you know, yeah, it was okay. Yep. We'll go ahead. We'll get it. We'll see where we're at. We'll make a game plan, you know, if we have any overspending. So, that's one reason why I really enjoy the software, because if I was out and about, I would had to rely on, okay, this is what's in my bank account. And then of course, doing that really quick math, making sure that, I cover the bills, make sure, to cover if I say like I had, a sinking fund or something of a bill that's coming due, which I don't have anything yet until a little bit later in June, and for a yearly bill. But again, guys, this is something where everything is able to keep me on track, and I don't get in trouble with my spending because, and that I use the tools, I use the app that they have, and it just really helps with, like I said, keep me on track with everything. And because, oh yeah, and that knowing that that I have the money sitting, I could have easily blew through tons of stuff because, it's not that I like to shop, but I like to have things in that for the house, make sure that, that my son has his things, I have my things and stuff. And so I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Let's take a look and get into just double checking, making sure that everything is looking good for June. I feel really good with the spending that took place in May. There was some extra stuff. Let's go take a look at the reports because now everything is up to date. My expenses, everything, along with my paychecks. So let's just double check because what I feel is really, really good about everything, but sometimes what I feel does not actually reflect how my budget went. So let's just go ahead, take a look in income versus expenses. So the month of May, I pulled in $2,633.71. So that's okay. And then, all right. So my previous, I look at my spending for like 3 months. So it's kind of gone up. In that March, I was at 60-32. April, I did a little bit more. And this month, and I definitely did more spending than what I usually do. And that's because, we've gone out to eat. We've kind of, relaxed a little bit more on the dining out versus that eating at home. But now that summer's coming, it's getting nice where I live. We're going to start grilling more. We're going to start, doing the bonfires and stuff like that. So we'll probably be able to drop this back down. Honestly, for $228.03, I can't be upset with that. And the budget for the month is like $300. So we're still under the overall budget for the month for what I want to spend for groceries. And that's taking into consideration we're going and dining out plus, the grocery bill. And so the groceries, are still more than the dining out. So I'm not mad at that. Nope, not at all. Car payment, fuel, that definitely has hit the checkbook a little bit more. Last month, I did really well. It was under 500 for the month. But I also got to remember that my car payment is also included in that. So let's just take a look. So March and April, I was hovering right around the $40 mark in that for the gas. And this month, and that I've added about $50 some to that. So I'm over $100 this month for the gas. And again, I get that. I can respect that because, there was some extra things that my kiddo and I did. We kind of lived kind of live life this month and stuff. So between hitting the malls and stuff, we needed to also put a little bit more fuel in the car. So it is what it is. And of course, school loans, those are staying on track. And the last few months, and that we didn't have clothing expenses until this month. And the total expenses that we did this month was 6306. So that's all right. Household, we're hovering right under $100, and that covers like toilet paper, toothpaste, soaps, and basically cleaners. Anything that the house needs is basically what gets put into the household expenses. So that's not bad either. I do have to pick up a couple things, and that for the house that I did notice that we're running a little low on. I need to pick up like some body wash, bar soaps, and stuff like that, and then a couple cleaners, just because I noticed that the bottles are getting low. And what I like to do is have an extra bottle, so when that bottle runs out, I have the backup right there. And then when I recycle the bottle that's empty, I go and get the replacement. So I always have like 2 bottles of a cleaner or whatever it is, and on hand. So that's basically my little stockpile. So if things end up getting a little tight one month, I'm not stressing about, making sure that I have enough laundry soap, making sure that I have enough, of the cleaners in the house and stuff, because I always have that spare bottle. So that's the way that I do things to keep us on track and keep this spending down so it's not out of control. And then the fund money, and that 3440, okay, that's awesome. That, like I said, the fund could have definitely gotten out of hand. So to sit and spend less than $40, and that for the month, and we had a good time, and we were out, so not bad. The few extra things, yeah, that does reflect a little bit in the budget, as I've dipped into some of our extra money that we had. So it shows that I'm in the red, just because as far as like income wise, there wasn't enough income. So that means that I was spending money that I had set aside. So that's not bad. And that's under $100. It's not like I do this all the time. So it's a little sad to see it there. But I'm not mad. I feel really good. I'm glad that, we were able to get out, live a little, spend a little bit of the money. And now, like I said, we don't really have anything coming up. So we'll probably just make up for the month of May here and keep growing. And the big takeaway that I'm looking at is I have enough money to cover my rent. I have enough money to cover my food. I have enough money to cover my electric bill. And that'll be until I get paid next Friday. So it's a win. I'm not stressing about any of the bills. Everybody, got their money this month. Everybody's on track. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay that, my son and I, we went out, we lived a little, spent a little, had a good time. And, it was a moment for us to sit down and talk and bond. And just enjoy each other's company. And it was a nice check-in and out with him to see, where he's at, what he's feeling, how things, not to say that we don't do that, but it was just a nice time to do a little bit deeper of a check-in. So, but you guys, all in all, I think we're sitting pretty good for this check-in. So I'm gonna go ahead, wrap this up, and that as I've done quite a bit of rambling, some reflecting, and I do appreciate if you stuck around, and not just to kind of listen to me ramble about how the budget's going, how I feel about things. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, guys, be safe and take care.